$60,000, keep it in your account, earn your money, okay, on that 60,000 for the 2 years, instead of taking out a whole 100, let's keep your $60,000, make your money on it for the 2 years, and then do your one pay lease and only pay for a portion of it, because in 2 years you're gonna be done with it anyway. Right?
Sitting there drawing
So now you're
interest.
making money while you're spending money, because if you pay that whole $100,000 right now, you're not making any money on it.
That's great.
You were in finance. You're nailing
I did it for a couple of years.
Yeah, you can tell.
Right? So
That's great.
a lot of benefits on that end of it. So how are we feeling?
Great.
I'm feeling a lot better about that Foursquare now with that lease option.
It's always it's always it's always an option. There's no doubt about it on that end of it. Okay, so any questions on the leasing aspect of it?
Not
You just
necessarily.
don't quite understand.
Are they still putting the down payment if they want to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So like the Foursquare thing, you're still asking
Yeah.
for down
So
payment?
normally what you're gonna have is what they call upfronts. Upfronts will be like your first payment. But here's the deal, if it's a 36-month lease, they come up with their first payment, now they only have 35 more payments they're responsible for. If it's a 24-month, now they only have 23, right? Whereas if you go on a purchase, you go 45 days out in your 60-month loan, you're gonna have 60 payments.
Right. Well, like Linda said, instead of doing the first payment, she just wanted to throw down $5,000, so.
Uh-huh. People, well, I'm wasting my money. People will say sometimes, oh, I don't wanna put any money down. I don't wanna put any money down, I'm wasting my money on the lease, right? It's just, where's that money, where's that? It's all wound up. Right, they're going, if I put money down on that lease, I'm just throwing my money away. How are you throwing your money away? Let's say this is $2,000 cash, right? Well, if you got $2,000 cash, you're closing your gap between the residual and this.
Lowering your payments.
You're getting 100% credit for that, for your cash down,
Yeah.
right? It's just lowering your payments. That money just don't disappear,
Yeah.
Right.
Not leasing.
right? It's gonna close that gap between your residual and what your
Now,
purchase
leasing
price is.
doesn't have tax. Do they have sales? Yeah.
Yes, it has tax. It's tax on the payment, remember?
Right, right.
It's tax on the payment,
So you're saving a bunch of money there.
right? So if you have, let's say you're on a $100,000 vehicle, now all of a sudden you got a residual of 60%, now you're at $60,000, take $60,000 times 7%. I don't know what it is,
Save
what is
that
it?
money.
$6,000, it's $4,500, I don't know, something like that.
That's nice that it's on the payment and not on the whole. That's good.
So there's a tax savings for you there too, to lease,
42.
because you're on $4,200.
Ain't no little joke.
So your big ticket items like that, that can be beneficial for you too.
So you can still do the trade thing if they want a whole bit too?
Yes, you could trade in on your lease. So if you have negative equity, you're gonna roll it into your payment, right? But obviously if you have $2,000 worth of negative equity, now it's gonna go this way, right? You're gonna have to add it to it. The equity is the same way. Let's say they have $2,000 worth of positive equity. It's the same thing.
Yep, closing the gap.
I'm losing my $2,000 in this lease. No, you're not. That $2,000 positive equity is closing your gap between the residual and what the purchase price is.
Right.
You get 100% equity towards. That's why your payment's low. If I take away that equity in your trade, that positive equity in your trade, your payment's going up. So how are you not getting credit for it if your payment's going to go up? If your payment's going to go down, how are you not getting 100% credit for it? Does that make sense? So, good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, let's do this. I would like to have got it. Here's what I'd like you guys to do. I'd like to go ahead and do a couple